Welcome. Hello. This is a course, right on course, of course, A Course in Miracles, a course for giveness to see clear clarity beyond and through whatever seems to be the scenes of separating seamness of appearances appearing to be like separate interests, of appearances appearing to be like, what the fuck does that mean actually? Of letting go of that meaning, of saying, I don't know what I'm thinking. And in the immediacy of that moment, allowing myself to just breathe in and a little bit, something like maybe like that, like conjuring upwardly, maybe behind me, possibly also within. And I attempt to do these in some way without plan, attempting to speak authentically. I have been mostly not even reading anything of the lessons beforehand, except for maybe the name of it. Maybe a sentence or two. In the past, when I've done these lives, I've always read it on my own before, so I would be prepared to receive. I want to make sure, he wants to make sure, this guy, he wants to make sure he does things right, you know, he wants to be, like, consider all the caveats and questions that may naturally come. And so it's not just a cliche. He wants it to be sincere in some way. And he could say, I notice I feel nervous sometimes about making sure I do it right. And what I want to say instead is he has, this guy, as the kid I know I am, the persona, the person, sometimes nervousness about wanting to do this right and wanting to have it be most helpful in some way. And that's cute and that's fine. And I can let go and let this live life of mine see what it says. I didn't plan to do the peaceful breathing peacefully in the nose knowing at the beginning like I did up and through my nose and exhale knowing through the nose. I didn't plan to do like I did at the beginning that. I just saw it happen, and it's not something I've never done, so it wasn't totally out of the realm of regularity, and it was what I didn't plan, and that's cool, you know? So, okay. The Course of Miracles tells us that we may not agree with everything that this thing says. In fact, it says we'll probably actively resist it, but it says just listen, just try it on, just meditate on it, entertain it, attempt to see what may be, and it will have a positive effect. And I believe this is true for me, and as I share it with you because I think it can be helpful for you too. And each path is unique and allowed to be the way it gets to the one universal experience. There are many ways, and this is one, and yours is yours. And I know that within the story of seeming separation, everything is allowed to be as it seems to be. Like he, she, I, it, we, uniquely and in likeness. Headed to truth, the only place there is anything, actually. There is nothing other than where reality is. These are at least some interesting considerations, and listen to them like music in some way, okay? My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Everything I think I see is made of the past, actually, and it's made of a past that was initiated with what physics called the Big Bang, and what the Course of Miracles calls the tiny mad idea, which is, what if there was something other than what is? And what would that look like? And the mischievous mind wanting to go on an adventure into the insanity of opposing opposites, of contrast learning, of againstness in some way, truth against untruth, which in some pristine way doesn't make sense actually, because you could say this is pristine logic actually, that what would there be other than truth? It would be something that's not true. And this is a cool, clear, present consideration and meditation that we can try on. And so I want to say the name of this lesson number 26, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. It's like, I could say my attack thoughts are pretending to attack my invulnerability, and my invulnerability is, pristinely speaking, invulnerable actually. So let's go on and keep on reading here. It is surely obvious that if you can be attacked, you are not invulnerable. If, indeed, if, the big if, you can be attacked hypothetically, then you, if that's hypothetical is true, are not invulnerable. And it seems we seem to believe in our human stories, if we think we are a human, that that is true of us. And the Course in Miracles is trying to get us to question whether we are the character in the dream of the story, or the way that appearances seem to seem, or whether those are something that is like I like to put it like this, like a marble in the mind, like a tiny pop-up book that we are hypnotized by, and thinking we are a character in the scene. Last night I had a dream. There was a spiritual teacher who is on my YouTubes sometimes that I enjoy, and he was walking around kind of in my periphery saying like, I don't need to say the specifics actually. It's not like it matters that much, but like there's another reality where the truth is I was laying on my bed here in Syracuse, New York, or I was laying on that bed right there in Syracuse, New York. And even the Course in Miracles has this question that, hey, is that true too? You truly believe, Joey, that you were in the dream with this spiritual teacher who was saying some funny things in his periphery, and you thought that those things had you feel a certain way, but your mind put both there, and the Course in Miracles is trying to say the whole dream, it seems, is that way, actually. It's one thing in some deep, profound way. Okay. Sentence number 2, you see attack as a real threat. Like in the dream where a bear seems to be attacking me, I'm like, emotionally, I'm upset. But if I can remember in that moment, oh, this is a dream, I could be like the kind of the insanity of the possibility of a happy clown laughing while it seems to be being attacked, or the Buddhist monk who lights himself on fire while meditating. That's a more actual thing we see in images of, from black and white images from the past where Buddhist monks have set themselves on fire while meditating. How wonderful in some way. What a message. What a image. I don't, that like the sensations don't need to make me think I need to defend myself. There's a medicine that I have taken from the jungle that is extremely painful. Put it in your eyes, and the nervous system, the proclivity of the patterns within the story of myself seems to think it needs to defend itself against the feelings in my eye. But I know there is no danger there. Actually, apparently, according to the rules of the dream, sometimes the eyes of the person who takes this will be better. And so I know it doesn't help me to defend, actually. So those things are some nervous system trainings that actually have practical, shareable parables from my history. Paragraph number 1 again, sentence number 3, that is because you believe that you can really attack. The Course in Miracles seems to say that we think we're guilty for having ruined heaven, for having split the truth in two, making it unwhole, and that the truth came and whispered in our ear, hey, you're just dreaming. This is a tiny mad idea based on a trip that you're having that you wanted to entertain, that there could be something other than the truth. Now we feel like actually the truth will punish us for what we think we wanted to do, because sorry, I just got a message on my phone that interrupted me from my thought now seemed to. What would have effects? And what would have effects through you must also have effects on you. If you believe your effects are true, that you really did, that there really is something other than the truth that can attack you. It is this law that will ultimately save you, but you are misusing it right now. You must therefore learn how it can be used for your own best interests rather than against them. You must learn how it can be used for your own best interests rather than against them. What is it? It is the law that what would have effect through you must have effect on you. Paragraph number 2. Because your attack thoughts will be projected, you will fear attack. And if you fear attack, you must believe you are not invulnerable. Attack thoughts therefore make you vulnerable in your own mind, which is where the attack thoughts are. Everything in the Course in Miracles is thoughts in mind. All thoughts are things that ought to be according to the one who wanted the story to be true. And these are mustache thoughts, moving up and down on my face thoughts. Attack thoughts and invulnerability cannot be accepted together. They contradict each other. The idea for today introduces the thought that you always attack yourself first. If attack thoughts must entail the belief that you are vulnerable, their effect is to weaken you in your eyes. In your own eyes, ability to perceive. If attack thoughts must entail the belief that you are vulnerable, their effect is to weaken you in your own eyes. Thus, they have attacked your perception of yourself. And because you believe in them, you can no longer believe in yourself. A false image of yourself has come to take the place of what you are. What you are is. What I am is. We share this with each other wholly. I love this later lesson. Love created me like itself, lovingly. Kindness, kindly. Creativity, creatively. This is what I am is. And in my mind, there is a character who is a story called, from birth is called Birthday Joey. Joking, sometimes playfully. We used to be kidding. Now seems to grow up and have a beard on his face. This is the character I know sometimes I believe I am. And though, if I can put myself in the correct perspective, I get to inspiredly use him to be a symbol of true use of what was originally made up to pretend a story, having that story be leading to true truth, in reality, a happy dream of forgiveness giving. Paragraph number 4. Practice with today's idea will help you to understand that invulnerability and vulnerability, or that vulnerability or invulnerability is the result of your own thoughts. Nothing except your thoughts can attack you. Nothing except your thoughts can make you think you are vulnerable, and nothing except your thoughts can prove to you that this is not so. Nothing is happening in some way. This isn't real. Oh, I think that you're hurt. I think that your opinion of me makes me wonder if I am okay or not. Actually, what I am feels like I feel like I am, questioning the value of whether I care or have a will or not. In Joey's story, there was a lot of challenge given to him for God to prove through that even in that extreme intensity of questioning whether true care cares or not, like God gave itself a really cool challenge, really interestingly, to get to be, through contrast learning, an extreme symbol of the fact that care cares carefully, fully, for the whole, wholly, allowing each part partially and perspective to be perspectively allowed to be as a bias used for letting go, appreciated for its part in the art of the unfolding of the happy dream, in the scenes of the dream wherein a holy purpose is seen through the holes where light shines, because the heat of the light is so bright and the purpose is so fundamentally fine that it shines, unfolding in eternity as our eyes light the scenes of the dreams with our forgiving purpose shared. Six practice periods are required in applying today's idea. 6 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. You know, apparently, supposedly, according to this guy's astrological charts, he has a strong influence of the planet Neptune, which makes his experience be, according to astrology, really dreamy. So when it says 6 practice periods, I'm like, I noticed this. I was like, I think I did 7. I don't. It's so interesting how things in my dream seem so dreamy that sometimes I'm like, why is it that how do I, and is it okay? It must be. This is the lesson for me, for my mind to say, it's okay, man. What if I only did 5? I'm supposed to do 6. I'm pretty sure I did 7 though. And it's all okay. That's the actual thing. Also, though, it says that the Course in Miracles does say to attempt to do it according to how it says to do as best you can. So 6 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. A full 2 minutes should be attempted for each of them. You know, and in the past, I've actually put on a 2-minute alarm, and this time I'm going through the workbook. I've just been saying, I think that was about 2 minutes, allowing myself to not be so dogmatic. It's a bit of my own heart, art, and mind training. A full 2 minutes should be attempted for each of these practice periods, although the time may be reduced to a minute if the discomfort is too great. Do not reduce it further than a minute, though. Paragraph number 6. The practice period should begin with repeating the idea for today, then closing your eyes and reviewing the unresolved questions whose outcomes are causing you concern. So repeat today's idea. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Then close your eyes and review unresolved questions whose outcomes are causing you concern. The concern may take the form of depression, worry, anger, or a sense of imposition, fear, foreboding, or preoccupation. Any problem as yet unsettled that tends to recur in your thoughts during the day is a suitable subject. You will not be able to use very many for any one practice period because a longer time than usual should be spent with each one. Today's idea should be applied as follows. So it's saying, like, just do a few of the things that concern you, because we're going to spend a lot of time on each individual one. We don't need to do all of the things that may concern you. Paragraph number 7. First, name the situation. I am concerned about blank, whatever that is. Then go over whatever your concern is, then go over every possible outcome that has occurred to you in that connection and which has caused you concern, referring to each one quite specifically, saying, I am afraid blank will happen. So I am concerned about blank, and I am afraid in that situation that blank will happen. Paragraph number 8. If you are doing the exercises properly, you should have some 5 or 6 distressing possibilities available for each situation you use, and quite possibly more. It is much more helpful to cover a few situations thoroughly than to touch on a large number. As the list of anticipated outcomes for each situation continues, you will probably find some of them, especially those that occur to you towards the end, less acceptable to you. So all these, like, afraid that you'll find lots of different, as a list of anticipated outcomes for each situation continues, you'll probably find some of them, especially those that occur towards the end, less acceptable to you. Try, however, to treat them all alike to whatever extent you can. After you have named each outcome of which you are afraid, tell yourself, that thought is an attack upon myself. Conclude each practice period by repeating today's idea to yourself once more, which is, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. So after you've named each thing that you are concerned about and the outcomes that you're afraid of, tell yourself, that thought is an attack on myself. That thought is an attempted attack on myself. And actually, what is true, though, is just only that my attack thoughts are attacking my actuality of invulnerability. Okay, brothers, sisters, friends, good day. Sending my love and appreciation and admiration for who you are on your path in my dream seems to be serving in so many ways.